Oh, look, we're just excited to be here today to, I guess, put the first major piece in the Jewel, which is obviously announcing our coach, Claudia Brassard, who we're so excited to have on board with the Jewels as our first ever coach. So, with the experience of being an Olympian, three-time WNBL championship winning coach, we could not have got a better coach to coach the Jewels in the first ever season. So, we're really excited, really looking forward to where we go from here.
How much work's gone into this moment, Owen?
Oh, look, a lot of work. We've had a panel put together to try to find, the coach of what is going to be, an amazing women's side in WNBL. Getting Tasmania into the women's competition is a fantastic thing for us. It's been something that the club's been very excited about for a long time now, and obviously the key piece for us was getting the right coach, just like we got in the men's competition. To be honest, I could never have dreamed as chair of this amazing club that we could have got a coach of Claudia's experience and esteem. So we're really excited, we're really looking forward to it, and as I said, this is just an amazing announcement for not only basketball in Tasmania, but especially women's basketball and women's professional sport. And with Claudia's background in leadership and all those sort of things, we think that we could not have got a better coach to start off the Jewels campaign.
Obviously with Kayla, have a bit of familiarity with a playing career with Claudia. How much more comfortable does that make in terms of you know what you're getting effectively?
Oh, 100%. I mean, we've been very blessed to have people like Kayla Stein involved in our club for a while now, and she was part of the panel working on the coach. And as I said, I think when we heard some of the names that put up for this position, there was probably 3 or 4 that you could have got, but I think in the end Claudia was a standout. So the feedback we got from the panel is she's the one to take our club forward, and we're really excited about it. We're really excited about the journey we're going to go on now. And the first piece we had to put in the puzzle was the coach. It's a pivotal piece, and it's the key piece. And to be able to announce Claudia today is just exciting for everyone around the club. And now the vibe starts. So we talk about the Jack Jumpers playing this Thursday night, but I think this is going to be the story for the next week or two. Is that we've got arguably the best coach in WNBL. Probably history in some ways, and to have her as a coach of the Jewels, we're really excited by it.
Obviously, Scott hit the road a lot early days and sold the club and the vision and things like that. Do you expect the same of Claudia?
100%, and that's why we're up here in Launceston today as well. This is a pivotal part for the history of our club, and we want to make sure that everyone in Tasmania understands that just like the Jack Jumpers, the Jewels are going to be a team for Tasmania, and that's why we've come up to Launceston to announce it today. So, we're excited to be up here with our other major partner, St Luke's, in doing this announcement today. So, Claudia and the team will get out on the road. They'll be in all parts of the state, as we've always been as part of the club, and they'll be selling the message for not only women's sport but basketball right around the state. And as I said, it's onwards and upwards from here, and it's something we're really happy with. Obviously, congratulations for Townsville winning the WNBL Championship yesterday, and they're our hunted now. We start going after them from today.
So the fact that she also knows a lot of players in the market, not just Australia but also overseas, major advantage hopefully in getting the squad together as well.
100%. That's why I say the coach is a pivotal part. I mean, the key part is you can't get any players to your side unless they respect the coach and want to come play for the coach, and that's why Claudia is such a amazing announcement for our basketball club. I think she's going to attract the highest calibre of players from not only Australia but right around the world. So the excitement really begins for the Jewels now, and that is we start to hunt a team. And as I said, off the back of the championship being won yesterday, it's open slather now is to get on and recruit the best side we can. And as I said, we've put the number one piece in place, which is our coach, and we've got the best coach possible, and we couldn't be happier.
Do you know how many games you play in the north of the state as yet, and is the Silverdome on track for the upgrade and everything?
Look, we're working through probably to have half the games in the north, half in the south, where they're actually played. Silverdome, as we understand, is on track at the moment. I think we've got one of our executive team going to have a look at it tomorrow, and as far as where it's on track, we'll work through those sort of things. We'll work through the northwest coast, the north and the south, and play as many games as we can in each part of the state to make sure we represent the whole state as we move forward.
It sounds exciting for to have Devonport and Launceston here. It seems like those venues are ideally suited to the WNBL, and how exciting is it to get more games around the state?
Oh, 100%. They're both really ideal, and we're looking forward to the Northwest Coast one being finished, and obviously the upgrades to the Silverdome. So we want to be able to take basketball to all parts of the state, not only Jack Jumpers but the Jewels. So I think the exciting part is we need to make sure we get as many Tasmanian boys and girls seeing the Jack Jumpers and the Jewels playing, so that we can inspire the next generation of people. That's why we put leadership of Scott and Claudia in place to make sure that we get the players down here. The players will do what they need to do on and off the court to make sure that basketball is the number one sport in Tasmania. We're going to continue to be that.
Have you considered playing at Ulverston until Devonport's ready, so you can take games really close?
To be honest, we haven't looked at that in too much detail yet. There's been a lot of other things on the agenda with the Jack Jumpers in the finals, getting Claudia in place, getting a new CEO in place. There's a lot of other things we've been working on, but those sort of conversations are going to happen over the next month or two as to where we play. And obviously we've got to do deals that also suit our basketball club moving forward, so that we can continue to take the club forward as well. So we'll have all those conversations and in due course announce where we'll play the games.
I know this is about Claudia today, but can you give us an update on the CEO search?
Yeah, look, we hopefully will announce a CEO within about a week or so. So obviously with this announcement today, we've got an amazing luncheon, International Women's Day luncheon with Lauren Jackson on Wednesday. Then we've obviously got the Jack Jumpers playing Thursday and Formula One on the weekend. So there's a fair bit going on, and then we'll have the very big announcement of the CEO hopefully next week.
Is that a clue? Formula One's on the weekend or anything?
No, I didn't mean to if it was. No, don't think that much into it, Brent.
Okay, cool. Did you want to say a few words?
Yeah, look, we're really pleased to be here and join the Jewels for this really exciting chapter in their story. And it's a really great opportunity for young women and women generally to be inspired by a whole new generation of role models. And obviously Claudia is one of those role models. St Luke's has a really bold vision to make Tasmania the healthiest island on the planet, but we also know we can't do that alone. We need to connect with partners like the Jewels to really inspire women, particularly young women, to connect them to the right services and support. We know that unfortunately women do have some health challenges here in Tasmania, so we really need to have those conversations with them, and that's what's exciting about the Jewels. And also what's exciting about this side, because unlike other areas, there's a real dedication to community outreach, and I think that's what really led us to want to be the foundation principal partner of the Jewels. So today obviously marks a great new chapter in their story and hopefully build the momentum not only for the club and for a successful opening season, but also as we continue to lean into those conversations with young women and women generally in Tasmania.
Fire away, please.
Tell us about the process. How many sort of people were involved? How many applicants, and why did you decide on Claudia?
Yeah, so we put out the advertisement for the head coaching role about a week before Christmas, and we're really pleased with the amount of applicants that applied for it, and yeah, quite pleased with the caliber of coaches and people. And ultimately there was a few of us on the hiring panel and throughout the process, and yeah, really pleased with our hire.
Thanks that one again.
Yep.
Yeah, obviously playing under a bit more. What does she bring as a coach that you enjoy that you think she can bring to this organisation? Yeah,
so Claudia completely aligns with what Tasmania stand for, what the Jack Jumpers stand for, and now what the Jewels stand for. And lucky enough that we've got St Luke's on board with us. You know, the vision that Claudia has really aligns with all of those key components. Being a past player for her was quite enjoyable. She's a mum, so that's, I feel, you know, quite a bonus for female athletes to play for somebody who can connect with them on that sort of level. And obviously the basketball side of her is phenomenal. So that's yeah, look, just all around character, great person. We're just really honoured to have her here.
How many did you sort of whittle it down to that you were choosing from in the end, and what put her above the other applicants?
Yeah, so in the end we got down to 5 applicants that we interviewed face to face or via Zoom. And Claudia really struck out with her previous experience with community engagement, her leadership. You know, she's an engineer by trade, so she's obviously well established in the corporate world. You know, she does a lot of leadership talks, really relevant with young females. So, like I said, obviously the X's and O's were always there, but she just really stuck out with yeah, I suppose the extra values and the extra things that we strive to provide in Tasmania, but that Tasmania always offers back to us as well. So yeah, just an all-around great person, and we're just really excited to have her leadership and her vision coming into the hiring process. She was very well prepared, you know, really hit the nail on the head with a lot of things that would resonate with Tasmania. So if I were a young female basketball player in Tassie, I'd be quite excited that there's a direct pathway to become a professional in your own state.
What about assistant coaches? Is that something you have a say on, or can Claudia build her own staff around it?
Yeah, so it'll be a roundtable discussion amongst Darren Smith and Claudia and myself, and obviously, yeah, we'll try and find the best player. Sorry, should I start over? Yeah, so it'll be a roundtable discussion between Darren Smith, myself, and Claudia to figure out, the rest of the puzzle pieces to put together to create a successful environment for our players. So these assistant coaches will, obviously we'll all have our own ideas and our thoughts, and essentially it'll come down to, who we all agree upon and who will best benefit Tassie.
with the championship decided now, what's the rules around talking to players and things like that? Are you able to do that proactively a bit more now?
Yeah, so congratulations to the Townsville Fire, who've won yet another WNBL championship. And yeah, so ideally free agency would start up a few weeks post grand final. So they haven't actually given us an exact date of when that happens, but we'll have all of our research done and do as much work as we can until that date is set. And hopefully when that day comes, we'll have some key players to put into place. We want to build a successful team to make this place proud.
Is Keely Froling on number one name on your whiteboard? Obviously, you just signed with the Force a week ago. Loves Tasmania, didn't want to sign with anyone else. Is that who your big target is?
Yeah, so Keely is obviously a great veteran player of the WNBL. Claudia was actually there as an assistant coach at the Townsville Fire before Keely and her sister went off to college, where Claudia played, actually, to start it all off. We know who Keely is. Obviously, Claudia's got a great relationship with the Froling family in general. So, yeah, when free agency comes around, obviously, Keely's a great WNBL player and someone that Tasmania loves and has been quite successful for the Northern Force now, previously the Torns. So, yeah, those are definitely conversations we're going to have.
How important was it to someone as well who's been in not just the WNBL, but a franchise that's been successful for years and years and knows the inner workings of what a successful franchise looks like and what's really important from the ground up?
Yeah, so Claudia's been a successful coach. She's won 2 championships as an assistant coach and 1 as a head coach. So she's got, a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience winning. So I think that may have also been a pivotal moment, I suppose, looking at resumes within the coaching process, the hiring process. And yeah, we want someone that knows how to win. So she's our gal.
What about a couple of other Tassie girls? Micah Simpson's done her knee, unfortunately, but is that someone you look to bring back home potentially? Yeah,
look, it was really heartbreaking to see Micah go down the last couple of weeks of the season. Such a great person and a great representative of this state. So it's really unfortunate, for basketball that she's gone down, but she will be back in Tassie, I believe, during the off season. So, we'll obviously be exposed to each other and try and support her in any way possible with her recovery.
Taylor Mole's the other one, I guess, at Geelong. I'm not sure what their contract status is, but do you want to bring the Tassie players home if you can? I know that hasn't happened with the Jack Jumpers all the time, but is that the plan for the Jewels? Yeah,
look, ideally we'd love to have a team full of locals. That would be the dream come true. Obviously, at the moment with contract obligations elsewhere, not actually across where Taylor is at. But again, a great kid, somebody that a really great character person that you would want a part of your club. And I know previously playing in my past history with playing, Taylor Mole is a player that Hobart girls anyway, I know, that want to play with her. So hopefully, yes, we can get Tassie talent back in Tassie.
And there'll be, like, with the new team, is creating 10 to 12 new spots in the competition in general. So do you think there's some Tassie players on the cusp of WNBL that haven't actually been in the competition before? Yeah,
look, so there's 10 contracted spots. There's room for development players, there's room for practice players. So ideally we'll open it up potentially to maybe some sort of tryout system or open training sort of thing to get all of Tassie exposed and Claudia as well exposed to who is in Tasmania. So there are lots of I shouldn't say there are lots of spots on a roster, but there's plenty of different contracts that you can have on a team. So hopefully we can tie someone in from Tassie.
Just to clarify, you're 100% out?
101% out.
Right. Well, welcome to beautiful Tasmania, Claudia. Have you had much association with the state before in any way? Or?
I've certainly have coached at Nationals here a few times in July, so I know what I'm in for.
What was attractive about the Jack Jumpers for you? As Kayla said, you haven't been coaching for a little while. Why now is the right time to get back into WNBL?
In the end, it was an easy decision for me. I think what really attracts me, a couple of things, but being the inaugural coach and setting up a program from scratch is a really amazing opportunity. but particularly I think my values really align with the club's values in terms of connection with community, being resilient, being tough, and having those strong values that will drive the club. They've got a great vision. They've spoken about it, Steve's spoken about it. We want to be winning from day one. So the opportunity as well to be part of a team that's going to be successful is what I want to be a part of. And, fortunate enough in my career now that I can be choosy where I want to go. And everything that I heard from the club really made me want to come here. Even from their first hiring someone like Kayla Steindl, I almost said Standish there. She's an amazing human being. I've known her a long time, so I know how good of a person she is, but also how good of a basketball player she is, how good of a teammate she is, and she's got a great reputation around the league. So to be able to work with her to build a club is again just a wonderful opportunity that I'm thankful for.
The Jackies, I guess they've already shown they can start up a team obviously from scratch and be successful from scratch. Was that sort of a thing that really appealed to you as well? They've been there, done that, and no reason they can't do it again.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think particularly in the WNBL and having been part of a previous club that's very successful in regional Australia, I guess I bring sort of some experience and knowledge around how to build a club in regional Australia and how to recruit to regional Australia. And we want to be the club of choice that players are going to come to because they know they're going to get better and they know they're going to achieve some of their goals. The high performance facility, again, amazing. I believe we'll be the only WNBL club with a training facility of that calibre. And again, players love that. Players are going to want to come play for us.
Yeah, I mean, club connected to a WNBL team directly, what advantages does that give? Like obviously the high performance centre and all that kind of thing, but does that give you a big advantage, do you think, as well?
Well, it's really exciting for me, and I think, even, this will sound a silly example, but just onboarding and doing HR, there was an actual HR system and documentation, all that kind of thing that typical WNBL clubs don't have those resources. So, and I was really clear, I guess, or some of the questions that I asked in my interview process to the club and to the ownership group was around, what's the support? Are you guys all in on this women's team? And the answer was clear. Even, I asked Scott Roth the same thing, how you feel sharing a facility? He's like, we're all in, mate. It's like 50-50. We support the Jewels. We want them to be successful from day one. So that really ticked a lot of boxes for me.
Just on that, you obviously had a discussion with Scott then. Did you sound him out much about the role, I guess, and what he experienced starting something from scratch?
Yeah, well, he grilled me really hard. No, I did. And, it'd be silly on my part not to pick his brain, right? So, he's an amazing coach, an amazing human being, as you can see, and he's well connected to the community. He knows how to deliver in Tasmania. So he's going to be a great resource for me.
I did say, I guess, recruiting to a regional place, knowing how to connect with the community in a regional place. I've been there when you were there. How important is that? I mean, especially when you're competing with football, you're competing with Cowboys up there, you're competing with the Devils down here, just to get that piece of the pie out here and make sure that the women are, well supported. Yeah,
I think that's a great question. It's really important to me, and I think as part of my presentation as well around being driven by purpose and values, and a lot of basketball players really enjoy that. They like to have a purpose and be able to go out in the community and make a difference. And we went out to St. Luke's this morning, and how we align with them, in terms of connecting and female health and being those role models for those young women out there. I couldn't think of anything better that aligns with my own values as well, and so I'm really proud to be a part of that.
I still remember Scott Roth's first press conference, sorry for referring back to him again, but he was really explicit saying we can win a championship, and that was before he even signed to play. Do you have the same mindset as that, even though you don't know who's on your squad yet?
Absolutely. I'm super competitive, and it's nice that I cheered on the fire last night, and now I'll be wearing a different crown and different colours. So absolutely the goal is to win from day one, and we'll be recruiting to that strategy.
What do you learn from the fire success that you had that you will take down here, and do you think can easily be transplanted down here to really give you an advantage, I guess, given you've seen it firsthand? Yeah,
well, to build a successful, there's obviously lots of ingredients going to building a high-performing team and a successful team, but we want to set the standards early. We have a blank book in terms of our culture and everything. So, while that's super exciting, we need to be really clear what those standards are from day one and live them and breathe them every day. And not just me. I think it's going to come from the board. It's going to come from the administration and the players. So we're all in it together. And the more that we can get players to hold each other accountable, the better we will be, and success, whether that's at training or on the floor, on the court during games. So I think it'll be, there's certainly lots of blueprints. We've been very successful up north, so I'll bring all that stuff down here.
How, I guess with players, like having the database, I guess the connections with players already, like you do feel that's going to make it easy to try and lure a couple of real big names in here?
Look, WNBL is a small league and Basketball Australia is a small league, so certainly well connected with a lot of players. In all the conversations I have had, talking to some players that aren't currently contracted to WNBL, there's a really good vibe and a really good feeling around the new Tassie club. They know there's a great facility. They know that the club's really all engaged and all in and want to be successful, so that players want to come to a professional setting. And so it's nice to hear that those words and whispers are already happening. There's lots of whispers always in basketball, so it's good news for me.
Nice when you sit down with players and you can go, look what the Jack Jumpers have done, we can do it. I mean, the proof is just already there. So
there's a blueprint there that we want to match. We know we want to be successful. The ownership group was clear; they want success and trophies, and that's what I want to.
Just on Keely, obviously you've got a close relationship with her. Is she your number one target, given her links to Tasmania already?
Yeah, look, I've coached her, she's this big. I've coached all of those kids, and they're a great family. They're probably the most competitive people I know. She's the type of player, absolutely, that we're chasing.
What about Tasmania too? Do you have an opinion on wanting to play Tasmanian players if you can, or you just want the best players available to come?
Well, I think it's going to be a combination of both. And if we look at last night's grand final, there's 2 Townsville juniors that started in that game, and that's come through the pathways. With having the club there, we're able to show there's a pathway to WNBL. I started the academy there, we started that probably 10 years ago, around taking some of these young girls and saying, this is how you become an athlete, this is how you sleep properly, this is how you take care of yourself, this is how you become the best you can be, whether that's basketball or school, etc. And you sort of see those fruits of those labours when you see two local kids starting and winning a championship. It makes you really proud.
When you coach, do you like to recruit players that adhere your sort of playing philosophies, or do you like to recruit your best team and then just coach to their strengths a little bit?
I'd probably say both. I think my number one is just recruiting really good people and good teammates first. They obviously have to be tall and athletic and put the ball in the hoop. But I think culture is really important for me, and being part of a team that really values that's going to be important. So that'll be certainly something we're chasing.
And being with the Flames organisation just recently as well, with that second tier coming through, with the NBL 1 teams down here as well, I guess you'd be able to sort of touch base with them and be able to...
Yeah, the NBL 1's strong competition. It gives it a lot of opportunities to a whole lot of other, I guess, that second tier that are looking for WNBL contracts. So it's a really good league that feeds into the WNBL. But then again, WNBL's that one step up, so we got to make sure that we're recruiting the right people.
When do you sort of officially start your tenure, and I guess you'll be working while still in Tasmania for the next few weeks?
Yeah, so I finish up north, so still doing a few projects I got to finish and hand over, but as soon as I can, I'll head down here.
Do you relocate permanently, or?
Yeah. So one end of Australia to the other.
Do you bring your family there?
Well, one's finishing year 12. My youngest finishing year 12, so he'll finish that, and then we'll make a decision next year. Yeah. Rather not have family around when I'm coaching, but yeah. No, I didn't say that.
You talked earlier about, I guess, making sure that there wasn't like a second team. I guess the Jackies, like everyone's treated equally. It's a
yes.
men's and women's team. They're both treated the same. I guess you see in some other leagues,
well,
VFL, AFLW, a couple of instances, it hasn't quite happened that way. So, obviously that's massively important to you.
It is, and I have seen it. I've seen it in North Queensland Cowboys. How the women's are sort of second-class citizens, and I didn't want that to happen. And so that was part of all my interview questions to everyone that I got to speak to, and the answer was quite clear and really made me feel really confident about it.
At the end of the season, what are you hoping to achieve as coach for the first season?
For the first season? Yeah, look, I think success will look like, we've made playoffs, we've recruited a good team, we've set our standards and our values, and, they're clear to everyone. Everyone knows what we value, what we stand for. And that we're connected throughout Tasmania. I think that's really important and valuable for us.
Playing more games up here as well. I mean, a chance to really make this spot really sort of the WNBL's own a little bit in the state and Devonport as well, and playing more games here than the men. So excited to get to, I guess, own this patch a little bit up here as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, from watching the men, I know that any team coming to play against us in Tasmania is going to find it very difficult, and that's really what we want to make it. Our home turf, going to defend that as much as we can.